we're just making way too many decisions from a place of fear as opposed to our knowing and our empowerment. Because our fear is our anxieties. It's our when we're making decisions from this place of anxieties in the present moment, that means you're way too much in the future. You're not actually making decisions based on what's going on in the here and now in the present moment. You're actually making decisions because of what you fear tomorrow. You think there's a couple things to fear in the future right now? Sure, we could hook on to all kinds of things in the macro environment. What's going on? You could say, like, well, the risk of war. We're still kind of dealing with some of the pandemic stuff. Maybe fearing job loss. And then we make these decisions, and they're not from a place of empowerment. They're from a place of financial scarcity. Going on, everybody? How are you today? We are going to go over how do we really actually follow your financial knowing and not let your fear of your money keep driving the engine. It's time for another fuel source to drive the engine. No more financial decisions from a fear-based perspective. And I'll bet you don't even realize where you're making fear-based decisions when it comes to your money. And I see this all the time. Julie Murphy here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell. Why? Because I'm going to help you get to a life that you absolutely love. And the only way you can do that is if you stop making decisions from your financial fear and follow that knowing. This all goes back to, I talk about in my book, The Emotion Behind Money. Build your wealth from the inside out. Your knowing, your intuition is your heart. And so many of us have actually built these heart walls energetically to protect our hearts. Why? Because every human being on the planet makes some kind of experience for themselves that is a rejection or a trauma that happens before you're 7 years old. Every single one of us has it. I have it. You have it. Some people's are severe. Some people's are smaller. I had one client who told me, well, she had this turning point in her childhood. She remembers her grandma smacking her on the hand. And for some reason that wired funny in her system. And that has been the basis of how she now makes decisions. Mine was a trauma where I was sexually affected by a Catholic priest. And that's a little bit more severe. But what it does to every single one of us is it creates one of three patterns. You don't feel that you're enough. You don't feel worthy or not loved. And every single one of us has this. And so when I'm working with people with their money decisions, part of my job is to dig into this emotional side of money, because we either work things out and we act it out, and we do it through our money, through our health, and through our relationships. And so recently, I do group coaching. So by all means, go to juliemurphy.com and get on my email list, because if you want to get some coaching by me live to help you get through your patterning, we'll get you there. Okay. But I was reminded when I was with my group this week that we really are sitting in this place where we're just making way too many decisions from a place of fear as opposed to our knowing and our empowerment. Because our fear is our anxieties. It's our when we're making decisions from this place of anxieties in the present moment, that means you're way too much in the future. You're not actually making decisions based on what's going on in the here and now in the present moment. You're actually making decisions because of what you fear tomorrow. You think there's a couple things to fear in the future right now? Sure, we could hook on to all kinds of things in the macro environment. What's going on? You could say, like, well, the risk of war. We're still kind of dealing with some of the pandemic stuff. Maybe fearing job loss. And then we make these decisions, and they're not from a place of empowerment. They're from a place of financial scarcity. And it's not that you don't take care of yourself, but understand what the fuel behind the decisions you're making are, because it will shift your whole world around. And when we're making decisions that are fear-based, but because of their experiences from your past, well, then that creates depression. So we want to really get in this present moment so we're not dealing with anxiety or depression, whether it's the future or the past that you're focusing on with your financial fears. And so how do we do this? You can really design it any way that you want. You just have to decide to choose your own heart and your own knowing over your fear that, oh, I'm going to screw up if I don't do it like my parents always did it, or how my friends always did it, or how all my other college graduates did it, blah, 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 blah. Whatever story you're telling yourself, because we have to realize these are just stories that we have hooked to, and now that becomes our reality. So choose the story that actually makes you giggle. Choose the story that makes you feel like you're the creator of your own life and not like the victim of the system of whatever is going on in the macro environment, right? How do you feel expansive in the present moment with your cash flows while you're not creating a lead balloon of your financial past? Meaning, you don't want to go fake it till you make it and create all this debt, because that's actually not going to be healthy either, because then that's going to create a whole other different set of problems. But you have to feed your heart and soul. And if you're not feeling good about you being frugal and clamping down, well, you're going to cut off the revenue stream that's coming to you. You're going to cut off because you've just lowered your energetic vibration. We all know this to be true. I was sitting in a conference. I spoke at Celebrate Your Life a few years ago, and one of my other colleagues that was speaking, she was talking about how she's allergic to any kind of dairy. And see, our bodies and our health work exactly like our minds and our money. And we have to remember, what do I mean by that? So she was talking about how she couldn't have milk. She couldn't do that. Her body would not process any kind of dairy. And she was so bummed because she loved having cream in her coffee. She's like, forget it. I'm going to have cream in my coffee. I don't really care. And she said she realized that her body had no problem whatsoever processing the cream in her coffee, because she was so excited to have cream in her coffee because she raised her energetic vibration. Then her digestive tract could actually process it. And she wasn't doing all these dairy products all day long. And it's just fine. So it really, really matters what energy you are bringing to the table. So if you feel like you're clamping yourself down, or you feel like your employer's clamping you down, and you don't feel like you're able to be free and who you are, this is what debt does to us. It makes us feel clamped. I need you to now, even if you're wanting to watch your cash flows, watch that. See, I didn't say the word budget. I said, watch your cash flow. Because when we are not following our knowing and we're following our fears, we're usually saying, oh, I got to go on a budget, and somebody's going to clamp you down. You don't feel like you have choices then. So I need you to choose from a place of, okay, I'm going to make this transition in my life. And instead of going, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, and can't do that, and your energy goes, I need you to go, you know what? No, I'm choosing not to go eat out, or I'm choosing to, cut off my cable bill anymore, because I'm going to save that now in a bucket to give me more freedom, because I really want to do this in my life. So you have a compelling reason of why you're doing what you're doing today to create the life you want to tomorrow. And that is where you bring empowerment into the financial equation, as opposed to this scarcity. Because when you operate from a financial fear-based perspective, like, oh my God, what's happening on in the Ukraine right now, and Russia, and what about Joe Biden or Donald Trump? Like, pick which one you didn't like, right? But there's all this fear. When we make fear-based decisions, they are not based on your knowing. You are choosing something outside of yourself as opposed to choosing something that's inside of yourself. You're not choosing your heart. You're choosing your ego mind. Your ego mind loves the fear and the anxiety and the worry. It keeps you distracted from living the life you really want to live. So look at yourself in your life, and where are you not showing up authentically in your work life, in your family life, in your personal life? Because when you're not showing up authentically, you are using the fuel source of fear to make those decisions. And enough is enough. It's time to step into your power. Again, Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell. Why? Because I'm here to help. And it's time for us to get to a life that we absolutely love. And we need to do it sooner than later. You guys have a great day. And also, don't forget, go to juliemurphy.com and get on my email list. There's all kinds of things from my online coaching to, I'm giving away my book for free, Awaken Your Wealth, right now. And I just finished my third book. I'm excited to announce that to you when it all comes out. And we will get you to a life that you absolutely love. And we're going to get there sooner than later. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.